Charlie Strong and Teddy Bridgewater were on ESPN as part of the Game Day Tour, and they talked about their expectations for the season. First, Louisville will have a 12-0 perfect record next season in football. Yay or nay?
Oh, that's absolute yay. I mean, if that's not a yay, and by the way, you feel sorry, have we ratcheted up the pressure enough? You have to win every game or your season is a failure, but that's honestly where they are. Part of that is a testament to how good they were last year, and part of it, and they're tired of hearing about it, but sorry, the schedule is just atrocious. You know, they're hoping UK is good. It's a weird situation where Louisville, I hope Mark Stoops turns UK around by game 3, because we just won't know how good they are. And when I say we, I mean locally and the national media, you just won't get a sense of Louisville, how much credibility they have till the end of the year. But I cannot imagine them not going 12-0. But again, Charlie Strong, they have not always been the best home team, so you can't count too many of those chickens.
Now, it was a rumor, but ESPN did report that Louisville had tried to set up games between Texas A&M and Alabama. So our next one, Louisville would have beaten A&M and Alabama if they would have played.
Nay to Alabama for sure. I mean, this is the Crimson Tide. Come on, this is the evil empire. You're not beating them. A&M, I think, would have been tremendously interesting, just with the Bridgewater, Johnny Manziel deal. But I still think there is a difference in quality, and Louisville fans cringe, between the SEC and the Big East. And I know Louisville's the class of the Big East, but I think you have to beat more than one SEC team to make me believe you can beat all the SEC teams. They played really well against Florida, but that team that beat Florida was not the team that played the entire year. That was them at their absolute best. If they play that way, they beat Texas A&M, but you have to look at them in a more rational perspective. I would think A&M be the favorite.
It would have been a tough season opener.
Yes, it would have been.
Now, I did touch on this a little bit earlier. Louisville's been on that hot streak with all these recruits coming in. They're currently ranked at number 14. U of L football will have a top 10 2014 recruiting class. I think I already know the answer to this. I kind of
gave that away. I'm going to say nay. And again, this sounds like I'm ripping on Louisville. I'm not. It's just, you know, the SEC, just chalk up the SEC for 7 of the top 10 spots just to start, because that's how they roll. Yes. Throw in a Big 12 of Southern Cal and Ohio State with Urban Meyer. It's not a slight on Louisville to say they're just not there yet to those schools. It's been a phenomenal season. But to get into the top 10, to me, it has to be seasons. And again, I'm impressed with the recruits they've got thus far. But if you look at the offers of those schools, it's Rutgers, it's Kentucky, it's Minnesota. That's not top 10 recruiting territory yet. So I'm going to say nay, and I'm sure be happy to be pleasantly surprised.
I'm glad you emphasized that for everybody. They didn't catch it the first time. Now, of course, Gorgie already has those 5,000 followers on Twitter. He's been doing a lot of retweeting, a lot of replying. Yay or nay, Gorgie's new Twitter account will have a lot of misspellings.
Are you talking about from him or the fan base?
From him,
yeah. No. I'm going to say yay, and that's part of his charm, by the way. If everything was spelled perfectly, I would be disappointed, right? We love I finally have a Twitter. I mean, Gorgie is just such a great character, and he's kind of kept the thing that makes him while you have to Americanize to play in the college game. But yeah, I think there will be some endearing misspellings along the way.
That's why people love him. I mean, Gorgie, people just attach onto that thing. So. And
there's so many players in this Louisville team. I've just become, really, when you think about some of the all-time popularity lists, Gorgie and Russ and Peyton, this is a team full of very likable guys.
Now, I talked about this with TJ on KSTV before, but lots of talk on the Louisville airways about the comparison between last year's UK National Championship team and this year's Louisville National Championship team. Matchup of the champs. Louisville would beat UK, yay or nay?
I'm going to say nay. It's like you're setting up all these questions where I criticize Louisville, but honestly, last year's UK team, I'm not going to use the word transcendent, but 2 of the players on it were transcendent. What Anthony Davis and Michael Kidd-Gilchrist did as true freshmen on the NCAA level, we're going to appreciate it more and more as time goes by, and especially Davis. That year, it was just like, you'd script it in a movie and they'd say, no, that's not believable. I think just those 2 guys, I mean, obviously, besides all the NBA talent and everything else, Louisville's run, let's not knock it. They beat everybody, and they beat everybody by double digits along the way. But I like UK in that matchup.
I'm glad we didn't have to fight on that one, because I was ready.
She had her fist balled up. She was ready.
Finally, just because you're here, real quick, reaching back to last weekend, your favorite golfer got a 2-stroke penalty for a bad drop, signed an incorrect scorecard. Tiger should have been disqualified from the Masters, yay or nay?
I'm going to say nay, and I know that'll surprise people, but the technical, letter of the law, He had the ability to keep playing. And if they're going to put in this new Rule 33-7, which allows him to go in after rounds and just change the fundamental principles of golf that have existed for hundreds of years, look, they put the rule in. You can't blame him as a competitor for taking advantage of it. The analogy I made was Tom Brady and the tuck rule. You know, he knows that the Patriots should have lost that game. We don't ask him to say, no, we forfeit. He took advantage of a lame rule to keep playing, and I think Tiger did the same.
Well, I had to put that one in there just for you.
Got to.